Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with Overwatch. And guys, today we are gonna... Well, there's a couple games of comp I need to get in Rogue U. I can't remember exactly which ones. I know I did one last week, I think it was Tank. But... my open group progress on comp, I don't fancy risk that any further. I will do a game in support. See how that goes, because I've never done damage. I'm pretty sure I did tank. And then it's just like support. And I might chuck something else in. But like I said, guys, the reason why in this season is why I basically do just chuck these in, because I usually try and find a way to chuck in a game of roll queue of DPS some point when recording. Now, something I will say now that I'm probably gonna end up presuming that's gonna probably end up coming out in a couple of days is I'm gonna presume the next trailers, because this is the last game of season 3. And because there was Season 1 with all the characters, Season 2 with Serana, and then Season 3 with Shannon.
Select your hero. Select hero bands.
I don't want to see May, I don't want to see Torbjorn, and I don't want to see Zarya. Although, I will say, guys, now, my hate for, like, Zarya I do think is just a tiny bit overpowered. I think she's kind of slightly mellowed down. But my hate for, like, May and Torbjorn will never go away. I hate how accurate Torbjorn's turret is. And for anyone turns around and says, well, if it's not accurate, Torbjorn's not going to get kills. And so you're telling me the only way Torbjorn's going to get kills is via his turret. No other hero has that benefit. Yeah, Symmetra's turrets weaken you, and can, but they're also super weak. They're like one shot and they're down. Oh, sorry, Diva. Ha! I'm pretty sure this was like random.
Focus on the ones my pylon can't reach.
Like, I am 99% sure like this was just random.
I will not let them out of my sight.
Also, nice to know the fact that no matter whether I'm playing... Nice to know whether I'm playing Overwatch or Rivals, the chat can make me laugh in some form or fashion. And guys, you won't know yet, but a Marvel Rivals review should be out tomorrow. And it was recorded yesterday, and playing it, I was like... Like, someone typed something in chat, and I'm just like, of course it would. Again, don't want to give too much away. But, like, go watch the video. Like, watch the video when it comes out tomorrow. But, like, it was super fun. Yeah. Also, guys, like, not that, like, if I do seem distracted, basically, cause my head is basically, in my head, like, I've got a routine. And when I don't stick to that routine, something then starts to feel slightly off. For instance, when I record, when I stream.
What am I missing?
And because of problems for streaming from Friday and then Saturday, and then it ended up me being like, I still owe a stream, and that stream then coming Sunday. Part of me is still like, okay, so streamed Friday, aka Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, no. So Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday. Today, and then tomorrow is Monday. And like in my brain it's like, is it really Tuesday? And it's like, yeah, it's Tuesday. Also guys, I do briefly go over this and potentially but I do mention it, I'm pretty sure at some point. Depends if it ends up getting cut for editing. Still not edited it. Batman Cape Crusader Season 2. And yes, please give me Season 3. Like, I don't know whether it's just a case of between Season 1 and Season 2 there's been... Because I'm pretty sure Season 1 came out in, what, 2024? Yeah, it was 2024. And this is probably the one time where I will turn around and say, waiting almost 2 years to get another season might be worth it. Now guys, I am personally a big fan. Like for instance, something was like Invincible that doesn't bother me is, I will willingly say now, yes, the animation style is not as good as it was from Season 3, Season 1. Season 3 felt like Season 3 and 4 were still good. Season 2 was okay, like Season 2 had a few different problems. But the animation style has never been something that really bugged me. It just hasn't. And because of that, I much prefer getting the season... Keep forgetting I have a heal problem. Like, I much prefer getting the seasons yearly than needing to wait 2-3 years. And... But like something like Cape Crusaders, Season 1 was good, Season 2 was just better. So if I have to wait until 2027 to get Season 3 of Batman Cape Crusaders, and it just be an improvement over Season 2, I will take it. Now there might be some people who disagree with me, but Season 1 was like not nice, like was an introduction to the season. It was just nice, you know, getting to know the cast, getting to know all that lot, and getting to know who Batman is. It's one of those cases where it's not... It doesn't, you know... Go, it's like, it's one of those situations where... Not situations. It's one of those shows where it's like, it doesn't matter whether you're an all-time fan of Batman, and you've liked him since... I would say since he first got introduced, but that's like, you'd be 80. Or whether like you're new to the thing, it doesn't really like go again. Like, it doesn't really, you know. It's kind of made for everyone because it goes over who the characters are and all that lot, and gives you details about all of them, and not just going, oh, that's the Joker. He's the Crown Prince of Crime, and what stupid stunt, like what stupid joke is he going to tell us today? It goes into more deeper of a conversation on who some of these characters are. And I will willingly say this now. There's a few characters in Cape Crusader Season 2 who are like, who the hell are you? Because there was one who basically... that gets introduced during Season 2, who gets introduced as like one of those cases because basically something that a lot of shows do is a case of shop owners willingly paying protection money. Do I agree with the premise? No, I 100% don't. But I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing in their shoes. I get it, I just don't think they should. But I get they're doing it to survive.
We're outnumbered.
I mean, that is kind of a good point. The team is not really sticking together. And it's making it 10 times harder to heal. And there was a character that gets introduced from that premises whose dad was then killed. Because he basically turned around and told Riddler because he was paying money to Rupert Thorne. And Riddler turns around and starts giving him shit and starts being a bit of a dick, and he's like, I don't want no trouble, I will pay you, just shut up, just shut the fuck up and go. And Riddler decides to kill him, and his daughter was there and she decides to take up revenge by playing mind games with him. Now I'm not going to finish how that goes, because it is honestly something that I do recommend watching. And she decides to play mind games with him, gets him to think that she's the whole new bee's knees. I mean, to be fair, she definitely dressed the part. And then she just get payback. Again, not gonna go over. I recommend watching Cape Crusaders. And I'm just like, who the hell are you? And I like the fact of still being able to go into a Batman show in 2026 and not know who some characters are. Because I will say now, some of my favourite Batman shows don't exactly go over a lot of the mainline villains. I think until Cape Crusaders, I hadn't heard of Rupert Thorne. Like, I've heard of like things like the Riddler, Joker, sort of like the main lot, Hugo Strange, Two-Face, Clayface. And like the main lot, you know, Bane, Catwoman, Harley Quinn. I've heard of like newer ones like Punchy. But like there are a lot that I've generally not heard of, including some originals. But because of when Cape Crusaders is set, it's set back during Batman's like first years. He's been on the job a little while, not too long. Like it's his first years of being Batman. Which, there are a few things I do want to kind of see from Season 3, and these are some things I'd love to see from Season 3. I don't mind whether Robin gets introduced before Batgirl, but I would kind of like Batgirl being introduced before Robin. I think Dick Grayson and Robin was introduced first. I think. That's going based off Batman the Animated Series. But, based on how old Barbara Gordon is, and the fact that her and Dick date, how old is Dick gonna be? Because in Cape Crusaders, Barbara is a full-on legal defense attorney. So she's got to be in her 20s. Dick is normally a kid when his parents die because of refusing to pay protection money. And I'm really interested in seeing how that's going to work, because Dick Grayson's not been introduced into it yet, and we know he's not in it beforehand. I've got a feeling, which is going to make this slightly more creepier, but I've got a good feeling that Dick is probably Dick, because when Bruce took Dick in, he was 9. Or he was young at the very least. So I've got a gut feeling he probably will be around the age of like 12. Like, I don't honestly think Dick will be that old. And for Barbara to do Dick. Now, whether you prefer Dick with Starfire or Barbara, I personally do prefer Barbara over Starfire. I get why people prefer Starfire. Because of the whole, you know, killing joke, Bruce and Barbara, you know, with that. And she's not always been faithful. But overall, I will say I much prefer, you know, Batgirl and Nightwing. But that does just come down to the fact that, as like a premise, Titans, I'm like, again, I grew up with Young Justice, so when it comes to the Teen Titans, even though most of the people on Young Justice have been Titans at some point, I do much prefer Young Justice. And again, I know I'm not the only person that ended up not watching Teen Titans like as a kid. But there was something I never saw as a kid. Like, I grew up watching like X-Men Evolution. Like, I am much more of a Batman fan and I'm much more of a DC fan in general. Like, Young Justice is good. Like, Batman the League, Justice League Animated was cool, even though I never did see it. I do know it's a good show. The Batman was good. I never saw All Brave and the Bold, but that was decent. The DC, the animated movie universe was good. And like, I've always have the Flash, the Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. They all had their good moments. So I can't honestly turn around and say they were good from beginning to end, or amazing from beginning to end. The Arrows had its good patches, had its bad patches, had its rough days, but was still a good show overall. Same for Supergirl. Flash starts off amazing, ends up being, oh god, 2, then ends up being good. Like season 1, 2, and 3, why we saw the same Speedster, why we saw Speedster after Speedster as the main villain. Season 4 wasn't too bad. I did like season 4. Season 5, I don't know whether it's just I was never a big fan of the Carol, or whether Cicada was just a bit more weaker. Or whether it was just a case of like, that was the first season that they went from 23 episodes, and that kind of bummed me out. But season 6 wasn't too bad. Season 7 and 6 were kind of okay. Season 8 I don't remember, and then season 9 I'm pretty sure was just decent from beginning to end. And then Arrow had its good patches. Season 1 was good, Season 2 was good. Season 3 was okay. I don't despise Season 4. Season 5 was good. Season 6 was okay. Season 7 was not the worst. I'm on the other end of sticks where I do prefer the second half of Season 7. Just because constantly seeing Oliver Queen in prison gets boring very quickly. And I much prefer him being out in the field. I do feel like Amiko was just a bad case, and therefore I have my own complaints. Oh damn you sons of bitches. And I've got my own complaints, but season 7 was probably straight 4 or 5 across the board for the full season. Because I think the first half was probably better, but I much preferred the second half of the season. And then season 8 was good. Short, but decent. And Legends of Tomorrow was decent. I've not seen all the Supergirl. Might one day. who knows? The first few seasons of Legends, I will say now, has a good point to it. Like season 1, 2, and 3 were good. Season 4 wasn't too bad, and I don't remember season 5 and 6. And I don't think it got season 7. But like definitely for me, like a weak point was the fact of the ending for Nate and Zarya. The dude, like Vixen left him, but she went back home. Like the original Vixen, not the Vixen that everyone then knows. She had to, because then the Vixen that everyone knows had to become Vixen. So she always had to go back at some point. But I also have to say it got a lot more wackier at the end. I mean, we put a good fight up at the end, but yeah, like Cape Crusader season 2 was amazing. And what was also decent that I have recently seen, that's only come out yesterday, but I wish was longer. Actually, yeah, that would have been a good idea. Tracer ended up being a big problem. Especially when you consider the fact of she got the second amount of kills between her team. Third between both. I watched Arana. That's just mean. Did I perform as good? No. Did I slightly underperform? No. But, yeah, Cape Crusader Season 2, if we, again, this, I've got a good feeling, because, I mean, they've done it before. Like, I will 100% be like, come Thursday, you won't need to react to anything. It'll be fine. And like worst case scenario, it's pushed off by a week. And then it'd be a case of, oh look, new hero trailer. Well, looks like I'm recording tonight. And again, I don't really have a problem with like needing to. I just like some heads up. And I forgot about loot boxes. Okay, so this will be a definite legendary. Did I get that within 19? And how the hell have I never got last skin? Now, I would say I'd like to see more about Doomfist this season. No, I got it with under 19 then. Three over from 5 plus D12, that's 17. But like, because like lore-wise, we got Successor, and then the Ambush drop. Which, yeah, I get the Ambush, like it was going over more lore for, you know, the Tiger Den stuff. Which we hadn't really heard of most of this season. Like, the Path to War, we actually got a good bit with, and a good few trailers. And a good few lore drops. And same for Conquest. Reign of Talon. Another Life. Project Jetpack Kitten. I mean, saying that, we've also got the same amount, but like, we felt like we got more. And like, the overall season did feel like, lore-wise, like we got a good bit about Emery and Venture. Not Venture. Freya. Jetpack Cat. And then we found out new stuff about the new heroes in Chapter 1. In Chapter 2, there was the hero trailer, there was the lore drop. Which is less, but there was only one hero, but we still found out something. And then we got more lore drop. Now, I'm not saying there's not lore drop in the motion comics, but I'm pretty sure it's just that there is 100% lore in the motion comics. There's just not much for me to react to. Then we got the hero trailer. We got the Facing Demons, we got the Successor. And then we've got the Ambush, but really haven't heard anything else. I'd like to hear more about Doom, because Season 20 of Overwatch 2 So before chapter 1 was when Doom was taken down. The prologue was when Doom was taken down, and we've not heard nothing up until like this season. Anyway, time to jump into tank. But the thing that I do wish was longer was the most recent episode. I say episode. It was a small thing for My Hero, and it was basically them just going over what's happened and what I've basically, for the most part, known for a while. There's some new information there, but there wasn't as much new information as could be expected. And it was just a case of where Midoriya ranks in the thing and how high he is on the hero board, because they don't mention it when he gets his hero suit, which makes sense, because there's probably just been a ranking. It doesn't get mentioned in the next special episode, but it gets mentioned in a nice little tribute to Eri. Actually, and it's basically just, you know, seeing what Eri's like as a grown-up, seeing Aizawa, my headphone jack, the like seeing what like UA all that lot, and it was just like a really nice tribute. I think I want to play Arista, it's been a while. And it was just overall nice. Zarya, Serena, Jesus Christ, and Jesus. No, why was not good? Wish Torbjorn was, because he's actually decent on this map. And it was a nice little tribute, and we find out where Deku is placed on the ranking scale. And if you don't want to know because you've not seen it yet, go watch it. It's a 6-minute thing. But watch it after stream. But he ranks very decently high. And my thing is, if he had his quirks, would he have ranked at number 1? Because Lumillion is ranked at number 1. No surprise still. But then there's Shoto, I think, is at number 2. And then there's someone at number 3 who I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen My Hero, so just hearing the name and not like visually seeing something. It's kind of it's just one of those things where it's like, who are you again? Like I say, it's been a while. Basically, I was going to start rewatching all of My Hero after the special episode came out. Just because it had been a little while since I saw it, and I hadn't rewatched it from beginning to end. I want to say since like last year, before season 8 came out. And even then, it's been a little while since I've seen all of it. Just because for me, why season 1 is good, I don't need a full season of watching Deku barely be able to perform a smash. Just because at that point it's like, oh god. Now season 1 is small, and then the big notable thing in season 1 is the big villain attack. But for me, My Hero gets definitely good and more cooler when we see the next number 1, in quotes, becoming one of them. Also guys, this is one of the maps that's supposed to be getting reworked. I'm gonna say it's next season. I don't think they're gonna do it now. If they were going to do it now, it would have been done during the mid-season. And the mid-season was like 3 weeks ago. and like we get to see where they all like we get to see where a good portion of them are now. I would 100% love to see, even if it's not like comic book wise, and like completely anime I would love to see a season 9. Now I got a gut feeling the team potentially more than likely would be happy to. But again, I can't 100% say for certain. But where it's just, you know, seeing what's going on in their lives. Because I've got unanswered questions now. Questions that I didn't really need an answer in. And because beforehand, yeah, I don't get me wrong, I like Carrie, but I didn't necessarily need to know how she's like how she is and all that lot. And she's turned out to be like, considering everything that she's been through, she's literally turned out to be like one of the nicest people you'd meet. Because she literally says to Aizawa and my I can't think of his like a part though, because like it gets said to her by Mike. I can't think of what the first part of that is. And it's like, well, you'll see him at your thing, and she's like, I don't get me wrong, I love Lemillion, I love Deku, but I wouldn't want to use their fame to benefit myself in any way. To the point where
the world still needs defending.
present Mike. Should have been paying attention. But like, present Mike is literally the one that then says, it's your time to shine, and it is. But don't get me wrong, there's also like, I want to know what's going on with Koda. He was one of the biggest supporters for Midoriya at the end. I also need to see Midori teaching in that suit. I just need to see Kochung being a menace on the school ground. Because something that does get... Because before anyone says, would he really? Yeah, 100%. If Midori turned around and was like, hey, Kochung, do you... Like, not even just saying, if he said to the rest of like 1A, being like, hey, does anyone mind coming in and just, you know, doing like a demonstration of powers and showing them what the Synchro heroes are to my class? Half of them would be like, yeah, sure, just when? Because obviously they've all got busy lives, but a load of them would just be like, sure, and Mako would be like, when, you damn nerd? And I think it would be really cool, but I also need to know how he's performing as a hero with the suit. Also, I forgot how much I loved playing Arista even. Because when her Mythic came out, I was like, oh my god, I need to play Arista. Like, I get into my head, like, when a Mythic comes out, I need to. I no longer do. Try and think who this season's Mythic is and who I've basically ignored. And then I'm like, oh, I really need to play them. Like, for instance, take Margaret. I don't have a Mythic yet. I do plan to get it. I wish they would stop doing 2 Mythics per season, or give us a way to get both Mythics per season. Blizzard stop being really twats in that regard. But like, when Alaris came out, I was like, yeah, I need to play more Alaris. Was it Larry's this season? Soldiers, Anna's last season. Yeah, it was Larry's this season then. And I have basically wanted to play more Larry. And I have played more Larry this season. But I wasn't that fussed with Soldier last season. And I still don't have Maze.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective
And I will definitely say, I've definitely not in the case of wanting, like, needing every mythic now. Because they've made it impossible. Without willingly chucking a few £100 at it, they've made it somewhat impossible. And see, it wouldn't be as bad if they did willingly chuck. If they willingly did do once per season for like 1 day, or like for a week per season, for like once every so often, you could willingly get the currency to get more mythics for about half the price. Then it wouldn't be too bad. But the fact they willingly put out 2 mythics per season, I'll say no, Magus does look cool, and I probably will end up picking it up. But we definitely don't need 2 per season. But like I say guys, my only complaint with the most recent thing from My Hero that they did do is it wasn't long enough. And that's just coming from someone who doesn't mind sitting and watching a 20-minute thing. No, I full on do get the point, and it's kind of one of those cases where it's a nice little update to see where everything is. They didn't really need to go much into it. And because people in attention spans these days don't exist. But it would have been nice to see more. And something I do kind of think is really cool in a unique way is Carl Chung says to Deku, not got any any extra classes you need to run or homework and basically any sort of tedious thing that teachers have to do. It's no, my class is great, they're perfectly behaved. And Shoto's just yeah, not like us back in the day. And Bakugo's done what you want about. And my instant response, my instant thought to that was, didn't you get in trouble for having a literal brawl outside, Bakugo? You willingly had a battle with Deku outside after the thing with All Might, and you're gonna sit around and turn around and be like, I was the perfect student. I would have loved to hear what Aizawa would have heard, if he heard that, because it probably would have been something along the lines of, you were the worst one. Nah, actually, to be fair, I can't even say that. Why he was probably not the worst for getting into trouble, because they were literally nicknamed house arrests, both of Deku and Bakugo. I definitely would say they're the worst in class, because both, even though they got into some trouble over the years, and there was a period of time during UA in some serious trouble, and were lucky weren't expelled from UA, which I don't think either one would have. I think All Might would have basically turned around and been like, Nezu, we need to keep Deku here. All Might, why? You can't play favorites with the students. Because he's got one for all, he's the next person to beat, all for one. We kind of need to nurture that. I've put the kid in danger, we can't exactly chuck him to the streets. Well, if we don't kick him out, and we kick Baku, you can't kick him out either, why? He also knows the secret. Damn it, All Might, how many people did you tell that secret to? Nezu then looking over the list and it's just All Might, why is there 355 people on this list? You asked me how many people. All Might. But I worst student wise would probably be someone like Denki, just from the fact of coming off a case of whether he has a short attention span or not. He comes off with the fact that he does. But I'd definitely say the worst in Class 1A is grapefruit. You can fight me to the death on that. The son of a bitch was willingly had more than once trying to, you know, take a look. Oh god, why do they have more time than us? I don't like the fact they have more time than us. Like, I do not like that. But like I say, even though it was short, it was definitely a good episode. A good, nice little thing. Do I honestly think that'll be the last that we ever hear from My Hero? I doubt it. No. If Diva got taken out of mech during that period of points, that would have been funny as anything. Goddamn you, Mercy. Okay, I'll just stay quiet on that regard then. In my defense, half the enemy team was trying to kill me. See, now they've lost some time, I'm kinda thankful. If they've got a minute, it's fine. We can hold them off for a minute. But I don't want them having more time than us, because it's more pressure. Damn it, if I had Javelin when she was near the edge, it would have been funny. But like, I wouldn't be against seeing all the things with My Hero. Like I say, I'd be more than happy to get into the season. I don't think we're going to. I think there probably will just be spin-offs every so often. Because I don't know how far they are with the book, like with the comic. I don't know whether the fact does that we've now got everything or not. I have no idea. And if we have, I don't know whether they're willingly gonna do things that, you know, don't appear in the comics. Or the manga even. So I don't know whether they're willing to do anime exclusives. Like I say, I'd be willing to see another season. And why I'm not the biggest fan of season 1, because it does just follow Midoriya. And part of season 2, try not to break his arm. I definitely wouldn't be that insulted if we did get, like, say, season 9, and it was just purely Midoriya trying to, you know, just using his hero suit now. The fact that not only did I chase 4 of them away, kills on 2 of them, come close to killing 3, did a good bit of damage to the 4. They've now spawned halfway down there. I'm right outside my spawn. Yeah, I had to get payback on Mercy for that kill. And I stand by this, it was worth it. Oh, thank God. I know what it's going to be for. It's going to be Hanzo launching Dragon and me using my ult. I appeared in all of them. Okay, Hanzo got 3 more kills than me. Fair enough. Still going to be slightly salty, but for the Diva, because she willingly... Like, Diva got me a point where I'm like, oh shit. Plus, it's not like Hanzo needed my help trying to get MVP. And to end the season, to end the stream, I will chuck a nice cheeky game of Team Deathmatch in. Although, guys, something that I will willingly say now is I can't wait for tomorrow. X-Men 97 has been that one series for me that has willingly, like season 2 especially, that has willingly got me being like, yes. Episode 1 and 2 were cool. Episode 3 was okay. Episode 4 kind of felt a bit eh. Episode 5 kind of just felt like we didn't really need it, but I didn't hate it. No, episode 4 was the episode that I felt like we didn't really need. Episode 5 was good, episode 6 was good. And that stuff from Polaris, oh my god. I went from basically knowing bare minimum about Polaris, because my only introduction to the character is the original animated series where she ditches Iceman for Havoc. I kinda get why, kinda really don't. She then ditches Havoc in 97. Because I'm sorry, if he willingly won't stand by her when she made a judgment call, they wouldn't stand down. Polaris made a judgment call. And X Factor were like, nope, you stepped over the line and said, hold on, wait a minute. You call him that stepping over the line? So she rejoins up with the X-Men, which is going to be really exciting. Because something I want to see from 97, whether it be this season or next season, I don't think we are going to see it this season because we've got a few episodes left, and there's going to be at least another part for the whole, apocalypse thing. Unless it is just playing off into next season too, which will be slightly annoying. I want to see X Factor vs X-Men. Like I need to see the beef between them. Like Cyclops just, willingly telling, a human, stand it down. We've been doing this longer. We're the ones protecting mutants. You're just turning them into puppets. Like I need to see that. But, like, I do need to see that. Things I do think we do need to see from X-Men 97 Season 2. Cable and his team with the Apocalypse thing. I'm presuming the last couple episodes are going to be just over them taking down Apocalypse. I'd love to see Jubilee rejoin up with the X-Men. But I also need to see who the Four Horsemen are. Now, if you have seen the last episode and you're wondering what the hell I'm on about, yeah, I don't fully believe that what happened at the end of the episode is the full end. Because otherwise that's a lot of build-up for nothing. And quite frankly, I don't think they would. Also, guys, this is another reason why I do generally cut out this when recording time. Just because it is generally a few minutes. But, like I say, there are a few things I do generally want to see from 97. Like, I do at some point, whether it be this season, next season. Although, apparently we are getting Season 3 next year. That's something they wouldn't do, is give us Season 3 in about 2 months' time. Because the reason if they did that is we would then be waiting longer for Season 4. I'd much rather get Season 3 next year, and then Season 4 the year after, then get Season 3 this year, and have to then wait 2 years for Season 4. Plus, another case, it's like a case of the hype. Yeah, you'll have a load of hype for X-Men this year, but then none next year, and it'll basically, by season 4 comes, it'll be like, eh. Well, some fun as Ant-Man. Basically, this deathmatch is, you're by yourself and you have to try and win. Not the deathmatch I thought it was going into, but like, it's the deathmatch. And I keep forgetting I've got a new Ant-Man skin.
The fire in my heart will never burn out.
Not what I meant to do. Hold on, does it actually take points off you? It does! Okay, so I'm gonna be down by 2 kills.
That's all you got? That's better.
Now, I don't really blame them for turning around and being like, if you're gonna jump off the map, you're gonna cost yourself points. But someone left. But I say, how the hell am I not in last? And by that I mean, why the hell is there not 8? I say, why the hell do I hate that I can hear charging? And this is definitely not a safe place to be. But, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the new episode of 97. It has been that one series where I'm like, yes. Now, I will say now, is it going to be my favourite X-Men series overall? Probably not. Like, X-Men Evolution probably will always just take that spot for me. But it's definitely a close second. Like I say, it's definitely a close second. I refuse to end this game on -1 point.
Are just part of the process.
Again, why do I feel like playing Ambush just getting me targeted? You telling me the Reinhardt kill didn't count? Or an interesting thing would be how many kills can, how many deaths can I cause myself? Like how far can I go into the miner? Before the fact that it counts as like kicking or something. I would say if I stay up here, I'm generally going to be safe. That's just not true.
Enemy needs 5 kills to win.
I mean, 2 kills aren't the best, but considering the fact that I was on -2 at the beginning.
Enemy needs 4 kills.
That's called fighting.
Revenge, you son of a bitch. Ha! That saved me from being cocky.
I'll do it properly this time.
Ha! I'm in 6th. Out of 8 at the start of the game, which I think should count. I'm in 6th. Ah, 3, 2. Shit. Okay, that's justice. I owed him, he owed me. Fair enough. GG.
Enemy needs 2 kills.
Okay, mission number 1, avoid the bastion. Oh, damn you, Reinhardt. Damn you. I mean, I'm on 9 assists.
I haven't hit my limit yet.
Dance ablaze in the sky, over the ocean. But guys, what I will start doing as long as I remember is basically saying whether I enjoy what have I liked about the season, and basically you're giving a breakdown. This season has definitely been interesting. I went from being really pissed off and hating comp to actually liking it again. I've got a gut feeling it was just when I was playing comp, and I've now know that 1, maybe 2 games at most at the end, like the last couple weeks of games, and maybe 1 game at the beginning. But like there's a 5-week gap, that's perfectly fine. Where am I on the battle pass? I don't know if I will get to full 200. I'm at 188. Depending on where I am, I might full on try. I might full on try and put, like, you know, do 3 or 4 games more, chuck in a few additional things. I mean, so drive starts tomorrow, that will make a big more difference. But yeah, the season's not been too bad. I will say for the most part, I do overall enjoy the season. Biggest complaint is the lore. We've had 1 thing to do with the ambush, which, yeah, is on par. But we've only just found out about Doomfist. We need more. And it would be so much more cooler. Now, I've got a gut feeling the next 2 things will be hero trailers. 1 thing will be hero trailer and the other thing will be a motion comic about the thing. I've got a gut feeling they'll probably be out in the next couple of days. As soon as they are. If they're out by Thursday, I will react to them. If not, potentially a thing for next season. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is Tiger signing off, and I hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Yeah, hold on, actually. I've only got a few seconds to get over the hour. And by that, I do mean 10 seconds. But like I say, guys, this season has generally just been good. If you are new around it, please like, comment, subscribe if you are watching this after. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Tigress. Signing off. See you next time. Bye.